staggering. It's like you're in a car and you're pushing the gas pedal down and not moving. So, hi guys, my name is Moti, and in this video we're going to talk about the micro movement microdosing protocol. And before we start, a small disclaimer: all the content in this video is done for educational purposes only. We do not promote the use of any illegal substance, including psychedelics. The aim of this video is to help harm reduction and make people more aware, educated, and make the best decision they can make. The micro movement microdosing protocol. There are a few famous protocols like the Stamets protocol, like the Fadiman protocol. Like each of them have something specific that can help. And there is another protocol which is developed under the micro movement method, which is a protocol that pushes it a bit further and gives you deeper tools to investigate. It could work both with any substance in general, but usually we're talking about the classical psychedelics, which is LSD or psilocybin. It could work with both of them. I'll take LSD just for example, but take it with the one you prefer or not. I mentioned the Fadiman protocol before because it's a great protocol for not just beginners, but it's a great protocol all in all. It says one day you're taken in the morning microdosing, you have the effect. The second day you do not take, you still have some afterglow effect. It's not like the day before you took. And then the third day you also don't take, it's a reset day. And then on the fourth day you're taken again, right? So it's 1 week, it's twice a week, and then the other week it's 3 times a week, and again 2, 3 for a month or 2, and then you stop for between 2 weeks to 1 month. That's the Fadiman protocol, and the dosages are between 5 to 20 micrograms of LSD. If you compare it to psilocybin mushrooms, then it's something about 0.1 to 0.3 grams of psilocybin mushrooms, but it really does depend on the mushroom and many other factors. So be wary, it's not a recommendation, and dosages are something that you really need to understand before you're taking them. If you take too much, it could be very dangerous. The micro-movement protocol developed in order to understand different levels of microdosing and how we can benefit from them, right? Because as you mentioned, I'll go with the LSD example, but it works also for psilocybin. 5 micrograms, for most people, they don't feel anything. You have to be an extra sensitive person to feel 5 micrograms of LSD. On the other hand, 20 micrograms or even 25 micrograms are usually, for the average person, are too much. Only if you've done too much and you're desensitized, that's something else. I'm talking about most people that have not tried psychedelics. 20-25 micrograms of LSD would make them, let's say, miss a day of work. It would be too much. It's not necessarily going to be a trip. They're not going to have visual effects, but the physical effects will be too strong to manage. And it really changes. Some people are less sensitive, some people are more sensitive, and it also depends on what you're doing. That's, I think, even a bigger issue. If you're writing and you're sitting at home and you need to be quiet, then usually you'd be needing a lower dose that helps you concentrate and be more creative and more focused. But if your work that you need still to be creative and focused requires more physical effort, like athletes, for example, then the dosage could be much higher in order to feel something, right? 5 micrograms probably is not enough if you're an MMA fighter that wants to be more sharp. Only very experienced users could go higher and higher and still function. Usually people should not go more than 20, 30, 40, but then it's not a microdose. And it's definitely not something you want to do weekly, but that's a big difference, right? And we want to learn and understand ourselves and our bodies and how we function in different doses. And that's where the micro-movement, microdosing protocol comes. And it actually starts with 2 days off. So let's say you start your week on a Monday, so Monday, Tuesday off. Then Wednesday and Thursday you're taking, Friday off, Saturday off, and then Sunday you take a dose again. So it's 3 times a week, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off, 1 day. But then you do it for 4 weeks, but each week and the weekend you take a bit more than you took in the last weekend. So let's say it's every Sunday. First Sunday would be 5 micrograms, second would be 10 micrograms, then 15, and you're gonna kind of learn. The idea is not to go as high as possible, but is to really find your limit when you're like, no, this is not a microdosing, this is not for me, I can't stop laughing, whoa, too much. But also you'll notice that maybe I don't feel anything under 10 micrograms, I just don't feel anything, so below that it's nothing. So you kind of learn your range. You also, at the first time you'll take 20 micrograms, it's going to be, you'll feel it strong. You probably, or some people would feel it very strong too much, but maybe after the second and third time, your body kind of get used to it in a sense. But I'm not talking tolerance-wise, but just it's more familiar territory. You see the difference. You see where you can release in the body. You see how much energy you have. You notice that you don't need to be stiff in some areas. You learn to regulate your breath much better, and then it's not also exhausting. So many people that microdose feel like it's too much and they're tired in the end of the day. And this is very common. Usually they should just take less. But you also need to understand how to regulate your breath and movement to manage the energy. If you just have the energy, it doesn't go anywhere, it's tiring. It's like you're in a car and you're pushing the gas pedal down and not moving. So it's something like that maybe. So you need to move, right, to balance it out. And again, I want to emphasize, these are really risky and experienced and advanced techniques. So the microdosing protocol is not for beginners. It's definitely after you've done at least a few months with the Stamets or Fadiman protocol, at least when you're like more based with it, maybe you've done higher doses, you don't want to find yourself tripping when you drive. It's super dangerous. You don't want to find yourself tripping next to family or work. It's not about that. It's about seeing how much you can take and still be under control and even function better. Thanks guys, my name is Moti and I'm teaching micro movement. See you next time.